Well, good morning everybody and welcome to another Sunday morning show. Good morning, Bernie.
Good morning, Dan. Good morning, everybody.
Well, I've got some exciting news for you.
Have you?
Mm-hmm.
Fire
and
away.
I'm going to, not yet, not yet.
No.
I'm going to be sharing it with everybody in just a moment.
Nobody wants to support it. Nobody wants to support Wednesday, that's why.
Okay.
Do I know the news or not?
Well, I've already shown a little clip of it, but you know.
Have you?
Yeah, small clip. But, you know,
I
I didn't show
no-
you the clip.
I have no idea what you're on about.
I've shown everybody else the clip.
Oh, okay.
So everybody else knows what's
So
about to come,
gonna-
but you have no idea what's about to come.
I'm like the mushroom of this business, aren't I?
Are you?
Kept in the dark.
Kept in the
and
dark.
Fed, yeah.
Fed nothing. So, how has your week been anyway? What have you been? What have you been achieving
What
this
have I
week?
been achieving? So we've had quite. We've not done any course vlogs this week. We're a few weeks ahead, and we've got a few in the bank, which is good. Yeah.
Is that a first?
That's the furthest ahead we've been. So stuff that you'll be seeing over the next few weeks obviously happened a few weeks previous, which is good to have that little bit of cushion because I felt like almost we were filming and then bang, 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 it was straight out. So Jordan was getting sort of less time to have the stuff. Now at least he can work at his own pace a little bit and get ahead if he so wishes.
Yes. Which is
great.
important.
Oh yeah, 100%.
Which is important. He's under a little bit of stress. Not going to lie, he's under a little bit of stress because we're off to Turkey in the next 3 weeks, I think, something like that.
Yeah.
And Jordan's coming along with us, so he is under a little bit of stress to get ahead. He's promised me he's going to get ahead. Promised me.
Yeah. So I mean, yeah. So we didn't do a course vlog this week, but we have had a little trip up to FootJoy.
Oh, what a trip that was.
We went to St Ives.
We
any
did.
assistants or anyone or professionals who've ever worked in a golf shop or golf retail business, then you'll know that St Ives,
Caxton
Road. I took a picture and stuck it on
when you know, you know.
Instagram. That's where all your returns through Titleist to Cushionet go back to. So we went and saw the factory, the assembly area, the marketing department, and we met all the main players in FootJoy and Titleist. So
the idea of this trip was, and we've been talking about it for such a long time, but we about heading up to FootJoy to see the guys at FootJoy and put faces to the names. Because obviously we speak to these guys a lot on the phone and things, but actually meeting them, having some lunch with them, sitting down with them and talking about our ideas, talking about their ideas of how we can help move the channel forward, how they can help support the channel in different ways. Yeah, I mean, it's great.
We've
long way, but great.
I mean, we formed a good relationship with James Savage, who's one of the main guys in the marketing, isn't he? He's I don't know his exact title. Is he marketing manager?
No, that's Paul O'Hagan.
Paul O'Hagan. Okay, so
he's
head
of many other things.
I've never met Paul before, so it's good to meet him. But like we've got quite a good working relationship with James. He's a really good guy, really good at his job. We've been up and played golf with him a couple of times, and that, so it was good, good to go up there and got a nice guided tour around and just see what they do. Really, I mean,
and for those people that don't actually know, so Titleist and FootJoy come under one umbrella. So Acushnet is the main name of the company, Acushnet Limited, which underneath there sits Titleist, and then sits FootJoy, and so the big Acushnet offices, they hold Titleist and FootJoy all together, and they obviously work together to get. So when you put an order in, it all comes out the same warehouse basically. Yeah. But they're all. It's like when you turn up and you go through the reception, and then you go up a couple of floors or whatever we went to. We went up to this area of. So you walk through and you've got Titleist. You walk through Titleist. We shook everyone's hand at Titleist and said hello to them because we weren't really there to see Titleist, but we said hello to them. And then you carry on through, and then
it was like a border, wasn't it?
Border there,
like a different country.
It's like a carpet change. Go from Titleist to FootJoy, and then you're in and amongst the FootJoy guys. Yeah. And you just basically move from golf clubs and golf balls and hats of Titleist and gloves of Titleist, and then you move into shoes and clothing and everything else of FootJoy, and then you go through to this big boardroom, which is probably twice the size of our office, and in there is a full display of all the sort of 2023 products that are going to be coming out. It's like an advanced
pro shop, isn't it? I'd say, but like
beautifully done.
So you see everything. You see all the new kit, the new apparel, the new shoes. everything that's going to be on the market for next year, as well as what's on the market for this year. So it was.
It's exciting.
Yeah.
I love the look of all the new stuff that they've got coming out, and I'm sure you will as well. So, good ideas. We're going to look to continue on with our heritage series stuff that we did last year. We created a few different videos around the heritage of the game, the heritage of the heritage series of clothing that FootJoy had, the Premier Series. All of those sorts of things, but we're excited to be able to bring that again. So we're gonna look out for golf courses that we want to go and do some videoing at and with that have got a lot of heritage and history to them, and then create just a little bit. Bring that series together. We're not going to talk about the Open Championship.
Are we not?
Not yet.
Oh,
we're going to let that out the bag nearer the time.
No spoilers.
No spoilers on that, but there is something. We're going to be at the Open this year.
Yeah,
we're going to be at the Open this year.
I've personally never been to an Open Championship. I've been to regular tour events, but no. It's going to be pretty special considering it's the 150th
at St Andrews
edition at St Andrews, the home of golf.
Have you ever been to Scotland?
I've never been to Scotland. No, never been that far north. So
I'm ticking a lot. What a place to go on your first trip.
What a time to be alive.
Amazing, absolutely amazing. So exciting times ahead. We will obviously inform you as to what is going on with that. Yep. This week on the channel, we've been at
Stafferton Park,
which is where we're heading in when we finish this show, basically.
Yeah, so we went up to Stafferton Park and did a bit of a recce, sort of had a little look at the facilities, did the course vlog, just have a look at the golf course and stuff, and meet a few of the people that when we're up there will sort of be looking after us and making sure we have a good trip, really. And
they'll be looking after us, and then we'll be looking after the bus tour brigade.
Correct, yeah.
What a great golf course, though. I've got to say, there wasn't really a hole on there that I thought, oh, this is not. It was all really well laid out. A quality golf course. I know lots of people have commented on the videos that we've put out for this week on the Stafferton Park, and said how good a golf course it is, and that the fact that they've actually played it.
And that is a really
it's a great layout.
Top quality. Got not only a good layout, but it was in great condition. Had a bit of everything really. Had different types of lies. It was quite punishing if you missed the fairway with the trees and the rough. You had a bit of water.
But when you're banging out 2 irons the way you were banging out 2 irons, there's no dramas, is there?
No, but yeah, I really enjoyed it. And I'm looking forward to playing it on the bus tour today and tomorrow.
So an interesting comment that I actually jumped in on the comments and jumped in and commented about. So about the grief that we give Paul when we're out on the thing. So what you got to remember is Paul is my older brother. So he's 2 years older than me. Yeah. He's given me loads of grief over the years, and occasionally, that's that's what brothers do. Brothers give brothers a bit of grief.
Yeah, of course they do. Keep you in your place in that.
Let's be honest, that's happened our whole lives and is never going to change.
No.
Never going to change.
No.
There was also in that same comment, someone said about Dan walks behind people when they're hitting shots and things like that. And I need to kind of explain that a little bit in the fact that when we produce these vlogs, yes, we're playing golf, but it's golf in a different level. And some people will have come and seen us play and do what we do. But it's for my role when I'm playing, even though I'm trying to play golf and trying to keep up with what's going on, you got to think that I'm trying to direct where the cameras are and where people are, and also keep the pace of play moving. So that's like a key role for me, and one of which I enjoy doing. So you will see me, especially on what we call B-roll shots, where we've got the main camera that is directly behind the player and doing all the conversation and things. But when you see shots where you get the B-roll camera firing across the green or just giving you a different view, you're going to see me wandering around, looking around, but the players that we play with, everybody knows what's going on. Like you, sometimes you can't see, but there's always something going on in the background.
Yeah.
Whether we're trying to move on to the next hole or whatever's happening, moving cameras around. This is what happens in our vlogs. We're not trying to. I'm not trying to upset anyone. I'm not trying to think, but you will see us moving around behind the scenes.
You need to get into certain positions and do certain camera angles to get the best quality vlog, and the golf is just. Although it's probably the main reason that people view the channel, but obviously we're trying to showcase the golf course and the surroundings and little things like that. So the golf for me personally is okay. It's nice to play good golf. Don't get me wrong. I'm trying to play as best as I can.
Yeah.
But a lot of the time, you've got so much going on in your head, moving cameras, changing angles, making sure we get the best shot. Little certain things like the view behind. bits like that might go unnoticed until you watch the vlog. We always think, and I'm trying to take a bit of pressure away from you doing that.
Oh, for sure.
And like
yeah.
trying to well, I think that's like, you know, trying to, you know, be your right hand man as such. But yeah, I mean, if you're worried about people stood behind you or getting in the way and stuff like that, then you should come and watch a vlog, because there's a camera pointing you all the time.
Yeah.
Sometimes I'm concerned that my ability that camera's in range,
hitting
etc. Hitting it, because at the start with that
very
was my,
close. Yeah.
you know, we're very close to each other. I mean, I couldn't care less whether someone was talking in my backswing, or talking as I'm hitting. It just it's I couldn't
like
care
I say,
less.
we're trying to build the whole
Picture?
the whole picture of exactly what goes on. But sometimes you will see, certainly me more than probably anybody else, I will be wandering around, because ultimately I've probably passed a camera on to someone and I've now got to try and set up my shot to keep the pace of play moving as well. So
that's a very good point as well, that we are under pressure with, we're not having the golf courses shut for us to film. We're taking longer than a normal 3 or 4 ball, and we're mindful of holding people up, upsetting members, visitors, etc., even hotel guests. We're trying to get everything done to a high level, which I think we do majority of the time. But we are mindful of how long it takes. And I mean, that particular vlog, thankfully the course was quite quiet.
Yeah, it was. Yeah, they red carpet for us.
Yeah,
wasn't it?
Kyle basically gave us enough room, sort of gave us an hour behind, which we did have to call a few groups through. But we took, because of the format, which I know people like that format, it took 6 hours.
6 hours, 7 minutes.
Which is, you know, is a long time on a golf course.
Unbelievably long. That's probably, I would say that's one of our longest.
Whereas when we played the players, we were round in, what, 4 hours?
Four and a bit hours, yeah.
Yeah, different format, quicker.
Yeah, absolutely.
Etc.
So I'm not trying to upset anybody by doing all those sorts of things, and we're always, I'm, you know, when it comes to etiquette of golf, like, I don't think there's anyone, you know, I try and keep it up as much as I possibly can
100%.
with all of, if anyone's ever had a chance to play
we're
with me.
one for tradition, but we
100%.
do believe that needs to be modified and stuff.
Yeah.
So we're you know, we go with the time, but yeah, we're not trying to upset anybody or do anything like that. But
well, you talked about just then high standards.
High standards, yeah.
And I put a small little clip at the beginning of this video, which
Did
you've
you?
not
I'm
seen.
not seeing. No, I don't know what you're on about.
Well, last night.
Oh yes.
Last night, I had the opportunity to have a Zoom meeting with Matthew Fitzpatrick.
Yeah.
And what a top guy. Like, it came out of the blue, out of nowhere, and I do appreciate Skechers setting it up for us. Yeah. Because they did. Skechers did set it up for us. They asked if we wanted to do an interview with him. It wasn't about Skechers. It wasn't about that side of it. But you get these opportunities through companies and things. 15 minutes.
Gone. Yeah.
Goes like that.
Quick.
Goes like that. So I tried to ask as many questions. Anyway, should we move on? Let's go and see how that video went and my interview with Matt Fitzpatrick. So Matt, first and foremost, obviously a big thank you to you for agreeing to come on and have a chat with us on the channel. First question, are you a big YouTube fan? Do you watch a bit of YouTube?
No, I don't, to be honest.
Do you not?
The only YouTube I watch is actually Neil Warnock videos. That's the only.
Really? So you're not into YouTube golf yet then?
No, not yet.
Well, make sure you head over and give us a follow if you fancy a bit of entertainment on your travels, mate. All right. So I've got a few questions that I kind of wanted to ask, and then I've kind of been to our audience and asked them to sort of feed me a few questions for you. So you've got a lot of fans out there, certainly over here in the UK, who wanted to ask a lot of questions. So I had a lot to get through, but obviously US PGA just gone past, tied 5th position. I don't want to get onto that too much because obviously I know you were probably a little bit disappointed with the finish and everything on the last day, but how did you feel it all went during the week for you, and how do you kind of reflect on how the week's gone and with your final position there?
Yeah, you know, it was disappointing end of the week. I feel like I played well Thursday, Friday, Saturday, and unfortunately Sunday I just didn't have it. You know, there's not really. There's a handful of decisions that maybe I'd sort of look at and maybe question, but me and Billy literally talked about it as we were on the way home from the airport Sunday night back to my house here. So he asked me the question, is there anything that I'd take back? And I said, I gave him my sort of 2 pence worth of thoughts. He pretty much agreed, really. So, it it was a difficult one to take, but it was my first time in contention in a major, and obviously it's all a good experience.
Absolutely. And is that something you and Billy do quite a bit of a debrief after each round and after maybe each tournament? Is it something that you guys like to do?
Not necessarily. Sometimes he'll send me his thoughts after the week. Not too often. Normally they come at sort of the, every end of the quarter when we kind of have a stats sort of debrief really, and he sort of adds his thoughts into it. But I think just the fact of the sort of the event that it was and how it all happened, I think he sort of just wanted to, I guess, ask those questions in case I had anything that was sort of stood out really.
Yeah. And I mean, I'll come on to it in just a moment, but I'll take you back to like 2013 US Amateur, and you just listening back to some of the recordings that I had, and I actually saw it on TV when you won it. But you talk about goals. You were talking about how you set yourself goals, and in that particular event, you were looking at the Walker Cup was kind of one of your main goals for that season. How does that work now as a tour player? How do you set goals at the beginning of the year? Do you focus on majors? Do you focus on order of merits? How does it kind of work for you? Do you focus on tournaments? Do you have to peak at certain times?
No, I think it's good to set goals, but it's also, it can be negative as well in the fact that you get so caught up in trying to achieve them that it becomes it becomes difficult to play regularly and do your job, I guess. Yeah. For me, in the back of my mind, I have things that I want to achieve. Of course, I want to win a major, I want to win multiple times during the year, European Tour, PGA Tour, whatever it is, you just want to win. But at the same time, it's just really just about sort of going through the plan and playing as well as I can each week and sticking to it rather than kind of veering off course and trying things and is this going to help? And I think it's just important to sort of have a good plan and sort of stick to it and see where it takes you. And
moving on now, we've got US Open round the corner. Obviously, it's a place heading back to Brookline is obviously a positive thing from your point of view. Are you excited with that? Is it somewhere you've played quite a bit? Is it something that you are excited about and confident going into the event?
Yeah, I'm looking forward to playing. I played there a couple of summers ago, just sort of casually, we didn't play the same routine that it'll be for the US Open in a few weeks. But it was good to see some of the old holes that I played, and I love being back there. The course was in great shape, and I'm looking forward to the week. Like you say, I've got some confidence from having previous good results there, or good result there, and I'll definitely take that into the week.
And back then in 2013, you talked about fairways and greens, just not making too many mistakes. Is that how Brookline is set up? Is that the same? Do you have the same type of mindset going in now as a tour player, as someone playing in the US Open? Is it the same type of thought process there?
I would imagine so. Yeah, I would imagine so. I think they'll set it up very similar to how it was that week. Some of the holes will be a little bit different, but on the whole, I would imagine it's very similar. I'm just looking forward to sort of seeing it how it is and how it's set up, and looking forward to playing.
Moving on to equipment, I know you've just signed yourself up with Skechers. How is that all going? Is it a good bond straight off the bat?
Yeah, it's been great. It's been great for me. I sort of said previously that sort of shoes that I was wearing before Skechers weren't always ideal for my feet, and sometimes my feet would be sore, and whereas now I just feel very comfortable in them. They certainly help with the traction throughout my swing and stability. I think they look good as well, and it's certainly been a success, and I enjoy working with the company a lot.
And carrying on with equipment, so one of the big ones that stands out with you is that you don't necessarily have a club manufacturer that you kind of work with as such, from a sponsorship point of view. Is that a conscious thing? Is that something that you just want to keep it like that? You want to stick to what you know and what you like, and and focus on that, or will you look to put in another manufacturer in the bag moving forward?
No, I just the only club contract I have is Bettinardi, and that's a putter.
Yeah.
And they the exact like for like version of my old Yes putter, so they did a great job there. But everything else is majority is ping, Titleist wedges, Titleist driver. So it's because I've got such a mixed bag, it's hard to sort of tie myself down with one manufacturer.
Yeah.
And that's the thing. I don't want to tie myself down with one and then all of a sudden start not playing well. And it's just much easier knowing what, using what I'm using, knowing what works.
Yeah.
And going with it from there, really.
And recently, you in an interview said that Liam helped you out quite a lot with setting up your equipment and things. And how often do you tweak? Are you somebody that gets on the range and likes to have someone sort of just looking over your shoulder, looking at the numbers that you're producing with clubs? Is it something you mess about with a lot on tour?
No, nothing at all. Really, rarely. I'll probably, I'll check things every now and again. We'll keep an eye on things, but it's not something I'll like. Oh, I want to try this, or I want to change this. I want to try this. I just think, it's that age-old saying: if it's not broke, don't
mess about with it. Don't mess about with it.
No.
Absolutely right. Last question for me from my side is favourite tournament. What is your favourite tournament that you play in every year and you focus on making sure you're there?
The Masters. Yeah,
is that right?
The Masters. Yeah, definitely.
I thought the Open Championship was coming out of there.
No. The Masters. Yeah, the Masters.
Yeah, it looks pretty special. Right, I'm going to move on time-wise. We've got a few questions from my audience. My partner in crime on my channel with me, he got himself into a bit of a pickle. He's a scratch golfer, good player. And over the years, a few demons have set in within his game, and he moved to cross-handed chipping. And obviously, he did it for the reason similar to why I did it with putting. We get the just feel a little bit uncomfortable over the ball, should we say? What's the main reason you went to sort of cross-handed chipping?
The main thing for me was I just chipped better. It was much more consistent. Same strike, flight, and spin. I wouldn't say I can spin it more than my normal grip, but I know how it's coming off every time, and that's been the biggest thig for me.
Yeah.
Just having that consistency and knowing how it's going to come off the club face, the speed and the feel. It's been a big change and a big help, a really big help.
So kind of a recommendation for anyone out there struggling with chipping or want to have a little look at something slightly different, give it a go?
Yeah, definitely. Just give it more than 5 balls, because the first 5 you'll probably shank.
Is that right? Yardage. So someone else mentioned here yardage. What's happened? You've increased yardage certainly off the tee. How have you gone about doing that? Is that equipment? Is that gym work? Is that swing changes? How have you gone about trying to pick up a bit more yardage?
I've used a speed stick called the Stack.
Okay.
It's designed by Sasha McKenzie, and I've been using that for probably over a year now, a year and a half maybe, and that's been massive to my game. That's definitely improved my swing speed, and that's been the big, as well as gym work, but that's been the big contributor to it, really. And
using that speed stick, is that something you do when you're warming up and cooling down, or how does it kind of work?
No, it's like going to the gym. So you do it like 3 times a week.
Right.
It's just like doing a gym program, basically.
Yeah. And I think that pretty much brings us to a close. Just one last question that I've got is why blades and not the owls? I'm not a football fan, but someone's asked that question, and I said I promised I would ask.
Nobody wants to sport. Nobody wants to sport Wednesday. That's why.
Okay. Right, Matt. I just want to take this opportunity to thank you for your time. Wish you all the best for the rest of the season. I will be at the Open Championship. We're up there with the tented village area, so hopefully we'll bump into you when we're up there. All right, but all the very best, and thanks for your time.
Thank you. See you later.
Cheers.
Well,
I wasn't nervous.
No, yeah.
I mean, it was actually just a down to earth lad, down to earth lad. But I was like literally start recording, gone.
Yeah, I mean,
and
really,
he had loads of guys like load of media.
Yeah.
And it's really, do you know what the hardest thing when you interview people like that is? They're looking at you like this is a media thing.
Yeah.
This is a media thing, and I'm thinking I'm nothing to do with the media. Like I'm not a newspaper. I'm not a magazine. I'm just a golf pro.
Yeah.
And I'm trying to interview him like a golf pro would like a chat. But you can always feel that they're a little held back. They're very professional in their responses and things like that.
It's part of their job and their position.
Yeah.
But it's something that I guess a lot of them are not overly comfortable with.
Yeah. Surely there's training.
I mean, there must be training, but I mean, they will have media training and stuff. But I mean, there's, in the past, a few journalists and a few media people have, I don't want to say thrown them under the bus, but different sports people that say, upset them. So I know at one stage, Alex Ferguson wouldn't speak to the BBC. So after match of the day, part of the contract is someone needs to speak to them about the game, and he used to send his assistant managers.
Yeah.
And there's other people that won't speak to certain newspapers that have, and rightly so in my opinion,
that have written stuff about them that they don't like or don't agree with.
They're probably a little bit guarded. So having a 15-minute interview, conversation, chat, whatever you want to call it, you're trying to win their trust or make them feel comfortable, and they'll share something that they wouldn't share with somebody else. You've got that little bit nugget of information, I guess, which makes the interview slightly different. But he sounds like a really great guy, and it's a good interview.
Well, I was a little bit. There was one question, because obviously I went out on Instagram. Well, Leicester went out on Instagram and asked everybody to ask some questions, and there were some great questions. And the one that a lot of people asked, was about his stats.
Yeah,
I didn't ask about his stats.
Yeah, I was a little bit disappointed. I mean, if anybody doesn't know what we're talking about, basically there's a rumor, or it's been posted on social media in the last week or so, that I know he was a stats-based golfer. He's very much into his stats, to looking at his performances, how to improve, strength, weakness, etc.
Yeah.
But there's a report that he basically, the last 15 or so years, has recorded every single shot that he's hit. Yeah. In great detail, whether it's a tournament, practice round, etc. And he's got a whole book or whole, whatever, however he files it away. But he's got 15 years worth of these stats, which, if it's true, is incredible, isn't it?
Amazing.
Amazing. The levels of detail, I mean.
I got on to, and I was obviously disappointed I didn't ask that, but I did get on to the old, as you saw from there, I got the cack-handed or left below right chipping response from him, which I mean, at the end of the day, he's gone about it to find out what gives him the best number. At the end of the day, he's probably had a little mess about with it one day around the chipping green and thought, I'll give this a go,
Strike is king.
Strike is king, numbers are important. So and some nice little bit of advice from him to say, if you want to go out and test it yourself, make sure you try it out.
I might do that. I don't think I've ever done that before.
A little Lee Whitaker on their early doors, but you might not.
I don't think that's one that I might consider doing, a left hand below right chipping.
What, you think you could?
I don't know really. I don't know if it's me or not.
Definitely worth testing, from what I've heard. But fantastic opportunity.
Yeah.
Little disappointed at the beginning there where he didn't watch YouTube. So I was a bit surprised that he didn't know who you were.
I would have. You're slightly more. What's the word?
Diplomatic.
Diplomatic than I am. That's a good word. I would have been like, I don't watch any of your golf. Who are you?
See you later.
That would have been quite funny, actually.
But it's a shame he doesn't watch us. But I have told him to go and check us out. Yeah. If he's on his travels and he's a bit bored and he wants some entertainment, then come and watch us. I'm pretty
sure he won't watch us.
Come and watch our golf.
I bet he doesn't watch the Sunday show. Not a fan of the Sunday show.
He might watch it now. Now he's in it. That's what it takes. Break the ice. Well, anyway, so we're going to be heading off to as we've already said, we're going to be heading off to the bus tour. But this week on the channel, we're at Cannes. We're back in France. So we're trying to break. So if we go away and do a tour, we try and break them up as we go through.
It's quite nice that everyone got a week's break from me.
Yeah, it's always nice.
Yeah, let's break it up a little bit and.
I mean, I go away to get a break. I go away to.
Why are you even lying? You were sending me messages every day saying I miss you. You could probably put them on the screen now if you want to see them. Like, miss you. Wish you were here.
Your job is to read out any birthday shout-outs.
Yeah, I've got one, thank you very much.
And apparently you've got one.
Cathy Coyle has wanted me or you to actually wish her Husband Simon Coyle, happy birthday on the 29th of May. So that was his birthday. He's a massive fan of you and Leicester. This is your message. And watches the Sunday morning show religiously.
Wow,
it is like a religion, isn't it, our Sunday show? Maybe, you know. I am a total golf widow.
Oh,
many thanks in advance, Kathy. So,
well, maybe
happy birthday, Simon.
Happy birthday, Simon. Do you think Kathy watches as well? She must.
She must watch.
Yeah.
She'll be watching this one. She's got mention in it.
She'd definitely be watching this one.
Yeah. So hope you had a great birthday. Hope she spoilt you rotten.
On that note, then,
Yep.
we need to get going.
We do, yeah.
We've got a long drive ahead of us.
The wheels on the bus go round and round.
The wheels on the bus do go round and round. And as I'm driving and you're just chilling,
co-pilot,
I've got to get myself into
DJ.
that frame of mind. Have we got any decent CDs for this trip?
No.
Nothing
We're Capital FM, aren't we? Or you're a bit of heart,
I
aren't
like
you?
no Capital. Capital. Anyway, everyone, we hope you had a great weekend and we will see you all again very soon.
See you next Sunday.
Let's go.